Guys, let's face it, the chest is king. It's the most coveted real estate in the gym, and for good reason. Your chest will never fully develop if you fall into even one of these 10 common pitfalls. The chest is undeniably one of the most visually commanding muscles of the male physique. When properly sculpted, it radiates power, confidence, and proportional harmony. If you've been training relentlessly yet still haven't achieved the gains you're chasing, chances are you're making critical errors that are sabotaging your chest development. These may seem like minor missteps, but in the world of hypertrophy, the smallest details often yield the biggest results. In this video, we're diving into 10 crucial training mistakes that are stalling your chest growth, and more importantly, how to fix them. Stick around until the end, because mistake number 6 is by far the most common and most overlooked. Alright fellas, mistake number 1, and this is a big one, is neglecting your scapula. One of the most detrimental yet frequently ignored errors is beginning your chest exercises, whether it's the flat bench press, incline press, or fly variations, without locking your scapula in place. Now you might be thinking, Jeff, what the heck does my scapula have to do with my chest? Let me tell you, it's got everything to do with it. Think about it. To build a powerful chest, you need a stable base. Your scapula, or shoulder blades, provide that crucial foundation. When you retract and depress your scapula before you even touch the weight, you're essentially creating a solid platform for your chest muscles to work from. This simple adjustment ensures optimal muscle activation and minimizes the risk of shoulder injuries. So before you even think about lowering that barbell, retract your scapula, feel those shoulder blades pulling together, and then proceed with the lift. Now, let's talk about training volume. One of the most hotly debated topics in bodybuilding is optimal training volume. While some athletes overload their chest with endless sets, others go to the opposite extreme, doing too little and expecting big returns. The key here, my friends, is finding that sweet spot, that perfect balance that challenges your muscles without pushing them beyond their limits. Remember, more is not always better. In fact, excessive volume can lead to overtraining, injuries, and plateaus. Now, how do you find that sweet spot? Well, it's going to depend on several factors, including your training experience, genetics, and recovery ability. Start by tracking your workouts, paying attention to how your body responds to different training volumes. If you're constantly sore, fatigued, or not seeing progress, it's a sign you might be doing too much. On the other hand, if you're breezing through your workouts and not feeling challenged, it's time to crank up the intensity and volume. Remember, consistency is key, and finding that sweet spot takes time and experimentation. Alright, let's talk about the bread and butter of chest training, the bench press. Now this is where I see a lot of guys going wrong. They sacrifice form for weight, and let me tell you, that's a recipe for disaster. When it comes to the bench press, form is paramount. Ensure your feet are firmly planted on the ground, your back is slightly arched, and your grip is neither too wide nor too narrow. A lot of guys like to go really wide, thinking it's going to hit their chest more, but in reality, all it does is put excessive stress on your shoulders. Remember, we're trying to build a chest here, not destroy our shoulders, so keep those elbows slightly tucked in, lower the bar to the nipple line, and press explosively back up. And for God's sake, control the weight, don't let it control you. Remember, it's not about how much you lift, but how well you lift it. Now, this next mistake is a common one, and it's neglecting the upper chest. You see, a lot of guys focus so much on building that big flat bench that they forget about the upper chest, and that's a big mistake. A well-developed upper chest adds that crucial dimension and thickness to your physique, making your chest look powerful from all angles. So, how do you target that upper chest? Well, it's all about incorporating incline movements into your routine. I'm talking incline dumbbell presses, incline barbell presses, incline flies, you name it. The key here is to elevate that bench to somewhere between 30 and 45 degrees. This angle puts more emphasis on the upper pec fibers, helping you carve out that coveted upper chest definition. Now listen up, because this next mistake is a big one. Over-reliance on machines. While machines definitely have their place in a well-rounded routine, relying too heavily on them can limit your gains. See, machines often lock you into a fixed plane of motion, which can hinder your body's natural movement patterns and limit muscle activation. Free weights, on the other hand, force you to stabilize and control the weight, engaging more muscle fibers and promoting functional strength. So, While you might be able to handle heavier weights on machines, don't be afraid to challenge yourself with free weights. Incorporate exercises like dumbbell presses, dumbbell flies, and dips into your routine to maximize muscle activation and overall chest development. Remember, true strength and hypertrophy come from mastering your body, not just moving weight. Alright guys, we're at mistake number 6, and this one's a biggie. Poor mind-muscle connection. You see, a lot of guys go through the motions, lifting weights without actually focusing on the muscles they're trying to work. They just go through the motions, not realizing that they're leaving gains on the table. Building a great chest, or any muscle for that matter, requires more than just moving weight. It requires you to establish a strong mind-muscle connection, to really feel those pecs working during every rep. How do you do that? Well, it starts with visualization. Before you even touch the weight, visualize those chest muscles contracting, feel the stretch at the bottom of the movement, and squeeze at the top. Focus on the feeling of the muscle working, not just on moving the weight from point A to point B. This might sound like some new age mumbo-jumbo, but trust me, it works. The stronger your mind-muscle connection, the better you can target and isolate your chest muscles, leading to greater muscle activation and growth. Alright, we're moving on to mistake number 7, and this one's a recipe for disaster: inadequate warm-up. You see, a lot of guys skip the warm-up altogether, thinking it's a waste of time. They'd rather jump right into the heavy lifting, but let me tell you, that's a surefire way to get injured. A proper warm-up is crucial for preparing your body for the intense workout ahead. It increases blood flow to the muscles, raises your core temperature, and lubricates your joints, reducing the risk of injury. So, how should you warm up? Well, it's important to start with some light cardio, like jogging on the treadmill or jumping jacks, to get your heart rate up. Then, move on to some dynamic stretches, such as arm circles, chest stretches, and shoulder rotations, to improve your range of motion and prepare your muscles for the workout ahead. Remember, a proper warm-up should take you about 10 to 15 minutes. It might seem like a hassle, but trust me, it's better to spend a few extra minutes warming up than to spend weeks or even months sidelined with an injury. Now let's talk about progressive overload. This is one of the most important principles of muscle growth, and yet, it's often overlooked. You see, our bodies are incredibly adaptable. When you subject them to stress, like lifting weights, they adapt and get stronger. But if you keep doing the same weight, the same reps week after week, your body has no reason to grow. That's where progressive overload comes in. It's the simple yet effective principle of gradually increasing the demands placed on your muscles over time. This could mean increasing the weight you're lifting, adding more reps, or even decreasing your rest periods. The key is to constantly challenge your muscles, forcing them to adapt and grow. So keep track of your workouts, and make sure you're consistently pushing yourself to lift heavier, do more reps, or reduce your rest time. Remember, if you're not progressing, you're not growing. Alright, mistake number 9 is lack of variety. You see, our bodies are creatures of habit. If you do the same exercises week after week, your muscles adapt and your progress stalls. That's why it's crucial to incorporate variety into your chest training. Don't be afraid to switch up your exercises, rep ranges, and even your training split. Try different angles, different grips, and different equipment to target your chest muscles from all angles. Remember, the more you challenge your muscles, the more they'll grow. So get creative, experiment, and don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. And finally, mistake number 10, skipping recovery. You see, a lot of guys think that more is always better, that they need to be hitting the gym every single day to see results. But they couldn't be more wrong. Recovery is just as important as training, if not more so. When you train, you're actually breaking down your muscle tissue. It's during the recovery period that your body repairs and rebuilds those muscles, making them bigger and stronger. So, if you're not giving your body adequate time to recover, you're actually hindering your progress. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating a healthy diet, and staying hydrated. And don't be afraid to take rest days when you need them. Remember, your body needs time to recover and rebuild. Don't neglect this crucial aspect of muscle growth. There you have it, guys. 10 chest training mistakes that are sabotaging your gains. Remember, even the smallest mistakes can have a big impact on your chest development. By avoiding these common pitfalls, you can maximize your gains and achieve the powerful, well-defined chest you've been working towards. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips on optimizing your training. Welcome back to your channel name. You know that feeling, right? You've been hitting the gym religiously, putting in the work, but your chest gains feel stuck in first gear. Well, today, we're diving into the top 8 chest training mistakes that could be holding you back from that full, powerful chest you're after. We're going to break down each mistake, show you exactly why it's killing your progress, and give you the tools and techniques to fix it. Make sure to stick around till the end because I'm also going to give you a bonus tip that most guys overlook. Let's do this. Alright, let's talk about range of motion, the unsung hero of muscle growth, and something I see butchered in gyms every single day. Guys, listen up. When it comes to stimulating hypertrophy, range of motion is king. You need to be working that muscle through its full potential from full stretch to peak contraction. Yet how many times have you seen someone on the bench press, ego lifting with a ton of weight they can barely control, shortening the eccentric phase? They think they're being hardcore, but all they're doing is robbing themselves of gains. See, that deep stretch at the bottom of a movement and that full contraction at the top, that's where the magic happens. That's where you're maximizing muscle fiber recruitment, creating those micro tears that lead to growth. When you cut that short, you're essentially shortchanging your results. And let's be honest, it's not just about the weight on the bar. It's about building a chest that looks as good as it is strong. And a chest built on half reps? That's a recipe for an imbalanced, underdeveloped physique. Don't fall into that trap. Now let's talk training frequency. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, the old school 1 muscle per week split, where Monday is International Chest Day, and you don't even think about chest again until the following Monday, is outdated. Yeah, I said it. Look, I get it. The bro split has been around forever. It's comfortable, familiar. But the truth is, research and real-world experience tell a different story. We now know that hitting a muscle group more frequently can lead to greater muscle protein synthesis and, you guessed it, more growth. Think about it. Would you only train legs once a week? How about back? Exactly. So why are we still treating chest like it's some delicate flower that can only handle 1 workout per week? Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you need to be blasting your chest every single day. But incorporating chest exercises into your routine at least twice a week can make a world of difference. Not only will you recover faster than you think, but you'll be stimulating those muscle fibers more frequently, leading to better results over time. Time to ditch the outdated dogma and embrace the power of frequency. Let's talk chest anatomy for a second. The chest, or pectoralis major, is not just one big slab of muscle. It's actually composed of 3 distinct regions: the upper chest, middle chest, and lower chest. Each of these regions contributes to the overall appearance and function of your chest, and each one needs to be properly stimulated if you want to maximize your gains. Now, if your go-to chest routine involves nothing but flat bench presses, flat flies, and standard push-ups, you're making a big mistake. While these exercises do work the chest, they tend to heavily favor the middle portion, leaving the upper and lower regions underdeveloped. This is why it's crucial to incorporate exercises that specifically target these often neglected areas. Incline presses and flies are your best bet for building a strong, defined upper chest, while decline presses and dips are essential for carving out that lower chest and creating that coveted chest separation. Remember, a well-rounded chest routine is key to building a truly impressive physique. We already talked about the importance of full range of motion, but I want to zero in on a specific phase that often gets overlooked, the eccentric phase. This is the lowering portion of an exercise, like when you lower the weight down to your chest during a bench press or dip. You see a lot of guys blast through the eccentric, focusing solely on the concentric or lifting portion of the movement. They think it's all about how much weight they can push up, but they're missing out on a huge opportunity for growth. Here's the thing. The eccentric phase is where the real muscle damage occurs. It's where those micro tears that lead to muscle growth are created. By controlling the weight on the way down, slowing down that eccentric phase, you're increasing the time under tension, maximizing muscle fiber recruitment, and setting the stage for serious gains. Isolation exercises like flies and cable crossovers definitely have their place in a well-rounded chest routine. They're great for targeting specific areas of the chest and achieving that mind-muscle connection we'll be talking about in a bit. But here's the thing, they should not be the cornerstone of your chest workout. See, while isolation exercises are great for isolating the chest muscles, they don't allow you to lift as heavy as you can with compound movements. And when it comes to building overall mass and strength, compound movements like bench presses, dips, and incline presses should always reign supreme. These exercises engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously, allowing you to lift heavier weights, recruit more muscle fibers, and ultimately stimulate more growth. Think of compound movements as the foundation of your chest workout, and isolation exercises as the finishing touches. Let's talk about the mind-muscle connection. This is something that a lot of people talk about, but few truly understand how to master. You see, it's not enough to just go through the motions, lifting weights without any real focus or intent. If you want to maximize your gains, you need to be fully present during your workouts. You need to be feeling the muscle work, consciously contracting and squeezing the chest fibers with every rep. This might sound a little woo-woo, but trust me, it makes a world of difference. When you establish that mind-muscle connection, you enhance muscle activation, improve muscle fiber recruitment, and ultimately optimize your results. So next time you're hitting the gym, ditch the distractions, put your phone away, and focus on that connection. Feel the chest muscles working, visualize them growing, and watch your gains skyrocket. When it comes to building an impressive chest, or any muscle group for that matter, consistency is key. You can't expect to see significant progress if you're constantly changing your training intensity, skipping workouts, or half-assing your way through your sessions. Your body thrives on routine and progressive overload. That means sticking to a structured program, pushing yourself consistently, and gradually increasing the demands you place on your muscles. If your training intensity is all over the place, your progress will be too. It's that simple. So find a training plan that works for you, one that aligns with your goals and schedule, and stick to it. Show up consistently, put in the work, and watch as your chest responds with incredible growth. And now, for the number one mistake that's killing your chest gains: lack of progressive overload. This is the most fundamental principle of muscle growth, and yet, it's the one that so many people get wrong. Listen up. If you want to build muscle and strength, you need to constantly challenge yourself. Your body is an incredible adaptation machine. When you subject it to stress like lifting weights, it adapts and gets stronger to handle that stress more efficiently in the future. But if you're not progressively increasing the weight, reps, or sets over time, you're not providing that necessary stimulus for growth. Think of it like this. If you lift the same weight for the same number of reps week after week, your body has no reason to change. It's already adapted to that level of stress. But if you gradually increase the weight, reps, or sets, you're forcing your body to adapt and grow. It's that simple. So there you have it, the 8 chest training mistakes that are sabotaging your gains. Now that you know what they are, it's time to take action. Implement the tips I've shared. Be consistent with your training, and watch as your chest finally starts to grow the way you've always wanted. Remember, building an impressive physique is a marathon, not a sprint. Stay dedicated, stay focused, and the results will come. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our science-backed training tips. Train hard, train smart, and I'll see you in the next video.